Wonder live at 5 on Tuesday, December the 13th. And how's this for timing, Paul Wonder?
Well, yeah, so John Sanders is here of Matilda. He's Mr. Wormwood. But, we do news here at Broadway.com.
Yeah, we do news.
And we knew he was coming in, then all of a sudden we got news about this guy. He will be in Groundhog Day.
Which is, much buzzed about Groundhog Day, starring, of course,
playing
Andy
Ned.
Cole.
Ned is a really fun role, too.
Because you saw it in London.
I saw it in London. I love this show. I'm super excited. He's going from Matilda into another long-running hit. So how about that? That's
done.
My prediction.
John.
My prediction.
So let's just quickly whip through the news. Barrett Doss as Rita.
Right. So she's a total newcomer. Yeah.
So basically, the only one who's from the UK cast who's
Andy Carl.
remaining in it is Andy Carl, and everybody else is recast. Which makes sense, actually.
I think she was in You Can't Take It With You. She had a small role in that.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I don't really know her. Nice to meet you. I'll meet you soon.
And they begin performances on March 16th, 2007 at the August Wilson Theatre. Just, of course, waiting for Jersey Boys to finish up there.
Yeah, Rebecca Falconberry's also in it. Anyway, it's a really good cast, and they announced the whole cast today, so you can read that on Broadway.com.
Yeah.
What else happened today?
Okay, there's big news. We sort of heard about this a while ago. So Jake Gyllenhaal was supposed to be reopening the Hudson Theatre with Burn This.
Yes.
And then he wasn't. But never fear, he is still now reopening the Hudson Theatre because it got announced today that he, alongside Tony winner Annalie Ashford, will be doing Sunday in the Park with George at the Hudson.
One of the best shows ever written. Just throwing that out there.
When we say limited engagement, this puts the limited into limited engagement. They will be there from February the 11th through to April the 23rd.
Do you think there are any tickets left?
Well, I don't know. They went on sale.
Tickets went on sale today.
But it was one of those ones where the tickets went on sale as the story got announced. So a lot of moving parts that were being dealt with.
I saw it at City Center. It's brilliant. I love the show. Jake Gyllenhaal is going to blow people away. I loved him in Little Shop of Horrors, but I
loved him in Constellations.
Oh, right.
He should have been Tony nominated for that.
But as a musical, this is Sondheim. This is like finishing the hat. This is a very difficult score. So, and he's going to nail it. So this is super exciting. Now I'm curious how much of the rest of the cast is coming.
Well, exactly, because it's very
star-studded. Said Felicia Rashad was great as the mother, and anyway, this is very exciting.
But quite frankly, if you haven't got a ticket yet, I think get a move on.
And you can buy them on Broadway.com.
Yeah.
This is like the craziest season for musicals.
I know.
There's way too many musicals, and I'm not complaining.
We're not complaining at all.
But for awards, it's tough.
All right, now this is sort of a bit of interest here. Jessie Mueller has announced that she's leaving Waitress on March the 26th. Now, they haven't announced a closing date. What they have announced, which is something they do in London, but they don't really do so much here, is when they're selling tickets.
End of booking, which is what?
June the 11th.
Oh, that's interesting.
Now, that is interesting. Now, if I was a naughty person, I'd say, are they intending to close Waitress on June the 11th?
Right.
That's possibly...
Or they could be putting a really special person in after Jessie for a limited run.
They could be.
Somebody maybe we've thought about in the past.
Perhaps.
Maybe someone,
maybe
a Tony nominee, not as an actor at some point.
Maybe.
I don't know. Just throwing it out there.
So naughty, Paul Wonder.
We'll see what happens.
Set everybody
well, we kept talking about saying the Park with George coming, and anyway, we like to buzz about things. That's what we do.
Waitress, one to watch. I'd expect an announcement pretty soon on who will be replacing Jessie Mueller come March 27th. All right. This was fun. Okay, I'm now going to have to say this right. I'm going to get
Suzatka, I think. It's Madame Suzatka, the movie, the Shirley MacLaine movie.
It's a new musical that's opening in Canada first, but is Broadway aimed, starring Victoria Clark and Judy Kay.
And Montego Glover.
Yeah.
Hi, Montego.
And
Hi, Teagues. People call her Teagues.
Exclusive video on the site called Let Go, not Let It Go.
It's Let Go. It's a new Maltby and Shire song. Maltby and Shire wrote some of my favorite musicals of the 80s. And they're back with a new musical.
So
and it's in Toronto. So you can check out. It's a full song, a little bit of a tearjerker. Anyway, check it out.
And now this one was fun. Adam Pascal's Hard to Be the Bard acoustic, which we slightly used from Broadway Box.
Yes,
our friends over at Broadway Box.
Yeah, but we shot it here.
Yeah.
We shoot some more videos here. But it's amazing. It's really cool. It's like an acoustic version.
It's fun. Okay, Aladdin was on GMA this morning. That was fabulous. Danae Benton was on the Late Show last night. She's great. Did I mention I love The Great Comet?
You did.
I think I might have mentioned I love The Great Comet.
You keep talking her up.
I do. I think she's going to be a nominee come the summer. Just saying. Spamilton is going to get a cast album because anything that Hamilton touches, even if it's a parody, seems to turn to gold.
Is it going to hit the Billboard charts because of the
Who knows?
The association?
Whatever. I don't know. There's a Kiss Me Kate photo op. Leading odds and ends days at Bright Star may go on tour. And I'm amazed you're watching us, and please stay with us because, of course, a new Looks Not Books just went up.
Oh, yes.
Which is a great
Speaking
segue
of John Sanders and
into
Matilda
John Sanders.
and the
So
Wormwoods.
have a lovely evening, everybody. Good night.
All right, everybody. John Sanders, come on in here. Hi,
how are you?
How are you?
Oh man, I saw that you have one of these things.
Yeah,
and
Target.
I have one that makes a whole lot of fart sounds.
Oh.
And I was gonna bring it in, but I forgot. So
This
we
has
can
a fart.
It does.
There you go.
Farts are funny. Anyway,
Farts
hello.
are always funny. How are you? It's so nice to meet you.
Yeah, good to meet you too.
And look how you're in the news. Is it fun to be in the news?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's nice to be ending a run. And how long? No, you have an interesting history with Matilda, actually.
Yeah.
This is really kind of a cool story.
Yeah.
But right now you're Mr. Wormwood.
That's right.
Opposite Leslie Margarita. How is she? How are you putting up with that one?
Oh my gosh, it's a struggle. Every single night, it's a struggle to deal with her fabulousness. No, it's not at all. As soon as I found out that I was coming back and doing Mr. Wormwood,
Yeah.
she actually texted me that night and said, "Really, really?" And I was like, "No way, you too!" And knowing that I was going to come back and do it with her was just amazing.
Okay, so you were in the original cast.
That's right.
Correct? And you played who?
I played Sergei.
Sergei.
The Balloon Man and Sergei.
Right.
And various inside.
Did you cover the role of Mr. Wormwood from the
I
beginning?
did.
Okay.
I covered Mr. Wormwood and Miss Trunchbull.
Wow, cool.
Yeah.
Did you go on?
No.
You never went on for either?
I never went on for either.
Okay. But you had the skills. You knew the lines.
I knew the lines and where to stand.
Which role did you want to play more?
It's word. Oh gosh, I always thought that if it was ever going to come back around, it would be Trunchbull. But we have an amazing Trunchbull right now, Bryce Rhinus, and
Right.
he is he's hilarious and scary and shocking and
Right.
weird, and he's wonderful. And when they called me to play Mr. Wormwood, I was shocked.
Yeah.
But so pleased to be able to come back and close it.
And it's so cool that they have somebody come back and get to sort of take over one of the leads. I love that.
It was
I love
wonderful.
that. I love when Broadway,
Yeah.
Broadway shows allow people to sort of grow with the show. It's amazing. So you were excited. What'd you do? You obviously left on very good terms when you left the first time.
I went off and I did. I was in Chicago for 11 years.
Wow.
I'm from California, but I was there for.
City, not the show.
That's right. Oh, that's right. I was in the city of Chicago.
They just think the show immediately.
That's right. I was in the city of Chicago working as an actor for 11 years. And I got cast as a cover in Peter and the Starcatcher on Broadway, which is what brought me here.
Right.
And so right after that, I did Matilda, and then Starcatcher said, "Hey, would you like to go out on tour and play Black Stash?"
Black Stash, which
And
is
I
the
said-
role.
Yeah.
That's Christian Borle's role, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, originally, but it's your role, too.
No, well,
John Sanders' role. That's John Sanders' role.
Christian Borle built that role.
Did you
and
steal
made
any
that role
tricks from
famous.
Christian Borle in that performance?
So many. So are you kidding me? Like 90% of what I did. He's brilliant. And so I went away and I did that, and then I came back to New York and I did Cloud 9 at the Atlantic.
Yep.
And I just spent some time
is
just
highbrow.
living my life.
Living your life.
This is very highbrow.
Living your life.
Yeah, and then they asked me to come back and do this, and I
And
decided to
so
do it.
let's just talk about it, the elephant in the room, Groundhog Day. Everybody's very excited. Groundhog Day is coming to New York with a lot of buzz
Yeah.
from London. I mean, you didn't see it in London.
I didn't.
Yeah, because you're
I didn't
working
see
on
it.
Broadway.
I was working.
And Andy Carl's doing it, but it's all American new people beyond
Yeah.
that. And you play Ned. Ned is it's a great role.
It is a great.
People know this. What's the name of that guy who played it in the movie?
Stephen Tobolowsky.
Right, Tobolowsky, who's done Broadway
who's
too.
fantastic. He has a great podcast called the Stephen Tobolowsky Files.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Of his writing, where he reads stories kind of about his life that he
Oh.
wrote.
Oh, I love that.
Fantastic. Check it out. He's a really multi-talented dude.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So, and Ned is the guy. So it's like the story keeps repeating, and you're the guy who Andy keeps. What's the name of his character? Why am I blanking?
Phil Connors.
Phil Connors. Thank you. I'm glad you know
Yes.
your new show. Phil Connors keeps running into this guy Ned, and you're like you're kind of this nerdy, and it's great.
He's an insurance salesman, and he's kind of that
Yes.
that happy Midwestern, overly happy,
Yes.
overly Midwestern
Yeah.
kind of guy that Phil thinks he's going to hate when he arrives.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then there's a great journey, and it's a great show. Have you
Yeah.
met Andy Carl yet?
Yeah, I
Okay.
have. I have
Cool.
briefly.
Was there like a chemistry test between Ned and Andy Carl?
There was no such thing. I don't know. I never met anybody. I just read for the people, the creatives, who are all the same people who did Matilda.
Yes, I know.
Minus.
So did Matthew Warchus, had he seen you? Obviously, he saw you in the original cast of Matilda, but had he seen you as Wormwood?
I don't know. No, I don't think he's been back yet.
Okay.
You know, we're closing up shop on January 1st, and so you know, who knows? Maybe he'll come back and see it again before we close it up. But you know, it's Tim Minchin who's doing the
Amazing.
music. It's
score's
Danny
amazing.
Rubin is writing the book,
Yes.
and Danny
He wrote the
co-wrote the
screenplay.
screenplay with Harold Ramis.
Right.
And Danny has said that he always thought that Groundhog Day would make a good musical, and so even Stephen Sondheim was attached to it at one point,
Right, I know.
trying to make something of it. And I think that Tim is the perfect person to kind of blow it up, all of the philosophical implications
Yeah.
of Groundhog Day, and
Yeah.
I think he's done a beautiful job.
Actually, I went to see Andy at 54 Below last night with his wife Orphe, and he sang his big song. So if you want a sneak peek of Groundhog Day, go to 54 Below. Okay, here's a good question. Scott wants to know, when a show is so near to closing, how is the morale backstage? Matilda.
Well, you know, I
Well,
mean,
watch the new Looks Not Books. Maybe you'll get a little
there
sense.
you go. Yeah, you could see, and I saw Leslie turn around doing that the other day. You know, I mean, it's a mix of emotions. You know, I mean, we're still doing 8 shows a week, and we're also looking directly at the holiday season, where we're going to be cramming a lot of shows
Right.
into a short period of time.
Right.
And so it's kind of a sprint to the finish right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody's really focused on what we're doing, and you know, the audiences are enthusiastic, and yeah, it's a fun time.
Leah wants to know what's it like working with Queen Leslie, but we kind of already said that. There's a lot of Leslie Margarita fans on our site, so
I know
apologize.
they're everywhere. Not
I
just
apologize
here.
in advance.
No,
Yeah,
not
you're
at
right. They
all.
are everywhere.
Are you kidding me? Wow.
Bonnie wants to know, what aspects of Mr. Wormwood's character are like you in real life?
Oh man, well, that's a tough one to answer because you know he's not a particularly enviable guy or
No.
somebody who you would want to emulate.
No.
But you know, I mean, I draw on my own kind of impatience in that kind of time when we're. You know, when you're walking through Times Square and you're just like, oh my God, I'm surrounded by idiots. You know, but yeah, but he also has a deep love for his daughter that he just hasn't figured out. And at the end, she helps him to uncover that a little bit, and you see just a glimpse of it at the very end. And that's important to be present the whole way through. You know, even if you don't show it to the to the people.
Right.
Yeah.
David wants to know, what's it like acting with so many different child actors? There are a lot of children in Matilda.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I don't actually interact as Mr. Wormwood with a lot of the children.
Right.
It really, the Matildas, who are all amazing and
Yeah.
incredible, and all have their own way of doing it, which is really interesting. But I did act with a lot of the original, you know, when I was in the ensemble when I
Yeah.
first got there. And these kids are incredible. Like, they, their skill level and their talent level and, you know, how devoted they are, but also how much fun they have doing the shows.
Did you act when you were a kid?
No.
No. When
I
did you start?
I started acting when I was in high school.
Oh, wow.
I did a couple of, like, you know, a theater camp and a couple of things like when I was a kid, but those were like, you know, I also played soccer and baseball, and it wasn't a particular focus.
Right.
But when I got to high school, I went to a school that actually funded it really well and had some really talented people running it. And we did some very melancholy plays. 10 November, a musical about the sinking of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Wow.
And Macbeth was
Epic.
the second show
Wow.
that we did, and so
Not like Pippi Longstocking.
no,
You
it
were-
really
you were digging deep.
we were digging deep, and that appealed to me
Uh-huh.
at the time, and so that's when the seed got planted.
Nicole said you are fabulous as Mr. Wormwood.
Thank you, Nicole.
David wants to know, what's your favorite part of living in Chicago? I love Chicago. I have great relatives in Chicago. Anyway, hi guys. I love it. It's a great city.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part? It's super cold, first of all.
Yeah. So the summers, spring, fall, summer, all fantastic.
Right.
Cold, winter, very cold.
Yeah.
You know, Chicago is a city of neighborhoods, and the theaters are kind of theaters for neighborhoods. So you have a couple of big ones downtown, the Goodman, Chicago Shakes, and Steppenwolf, and the famous ones, and everything like that. But then you have your suburban theaters, and you have your neighborhood kind of what we call storefront theaters, which are kind of like the off-Broadway theaters. And they really serve the people in the city, and it's not so much theater for tourists; it's theater for Chicagoans, and that's really exciting to do.
Yeah.
Because you feel really connected to your audience.
Did you eat La Pizza there? The deep dish pizza? What's the best place to go get that, by the way?
I'm a West Coaster.
Oh.
And
So what does that mean? Thin crust?
Yeah, there's kind of a style to
Low carb?
most West Coast. No,
I like the thicker the crust.
it's not that. It's just that Chicago style pizza is the pizza pie.
Yeah,
it's like a cake. It's like a pizza flavored cake.
Yes.
And New York style pizza is big, long, sloppy. With the and they just kind of slap it on.
Right, and you like.
Excuse me if I'm offending anybody, but
No.
I like round table pizza.
Okay.
And it's just a West Coast style pizza, and that's what I prefer.
Okay, all right. I'm
Sorry.
It's fine. You have your pizza. There's more for me.
Everybody loves a pizza where they're from, I think.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm from Connecticut. I don't know what the pizza there is.
Oh, New Haven style pizza.
You're right. New Haven pizza's good, actually.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. Shout out New Haven.
Yeah, there you go.
Would you consider dyeing your hair green? That is something that happens in the show. Have you thought? Oh, it's spoiler. Is that a spoiler?
No. At this point, no. It's been open for almost 4 years. Would I consider dyeing my hair green? Probably not.
Probably not.
Although I dyed my hair blonde once for a show for Two Gentlemen of Verona when I was in college, and it really kind of came out orange. So that was, which is actually the color it would be if you did what Mr. Wormwood does. It would be orange.
Your hair would be orange if you did that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's green for aesthetic purposes.
Yeah, it looks cool.
It does.
Looks cool on the show. This is a weird question, but maybe there's an answer. What was the role that got away for you? Is there one? It sounds so sad.
Well, gosh.
Brought the
Well,
room down.
I mean, it's hard to talk about those because there are a lot of times when you think that something is going to happen and then it doesn't,
right?
Or that there have been times when I've even been cast in Broadway productions in great roles, and then it fell through. Oh, the production's not happening anymore.
I don't want to talk about this because you're celebrating a great day today. You're going to be in Groundhog Day.
But you know what? It's those types of things that make days like today all the sweeter.
Right.
So yeah. It's cyclical. An actor's career is cyclical.
Stephen wants to know: are you allowed to? I think you're not, but are you allowed to improvise a Matilda? And I know that you can't just like make it up as you go. But what is doing a show over a run? Like, how does it sort of mold night to night? And do you have fun with Leslie and in your moments?
Yeah. Well, there's two ways of improvising, right? There's where you actually say different words.
Okay.
And technically, there are no places that I'm allowed to do that. In the entr'acte and telly, when we're coming out of intermission, there's maybe sometimes things just happen. You call in people in the audience.
You're able to like interact a little bit with people.
There's like this much.
Right.
But you really have to stay true to the script and to the intent. But there's the other kind of improvising where the dynamic between actors just changes from night to night, and you just and it's also between the audience too, how much they're reacting,
right?
And so things can be different between you, and you almost have to have that happen every night because it just gets stale if you don't, So yeah, and Leslie and I have we have great fun making things different, every night.
Other than Matilda, what's your favorite musical? Is our last question.
Well, we were talking about Sunny in the Park with George, and I think that probably would have to rank up more near the top. Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
You're not going to be able to see it.
No, probably not. Well, you never know what the schedule is going to be.
You never know. There might be a special,
like
a Tuesday at 1.
Performance
or something for you.
Yeah,
Jake and Annalie will do a performance.
I'm feeling sick.
Well, thank you so much for being here. Congratulations on the new gig.
Hey, thank you.
And everyone, check out Matilda. It's still a couple more weeks.
Yeah, January 1st.
January 1st at the Schubert Theater, you guys, and then he'll be at the August Wilson starting in March at Groundhog Day. So nice to meet you.
Oh, nice to meet you too.
We're off to our Christmas party now, so that's what I'm doing. So
I'm not going. I gotta go to work.
Thanks for your questions. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.